India is known around the world, not only for its ancient civilization, diverse languages, and historic monuments, but also for its incredible tribal diversity. India is home to more than 700 scheduled tribes, and each community has its own unique language, culture, traditional clothing, customs, folklore, and special relationship with nature. While some tribal communities have become closely connected with modern society, others continue to preserve their traditional way of life. Here, the word mysterious does not mean that these communities are associated with anything supernatural. Rather, it refers to the fact that very little is known about their unique lifestyles, cultures, and histories among the general public. So let's explore 10 of India's most fascinating and lesser-known tribal communities.
The Sentinelese are an indigenous community living on North Sentinel Island in India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. They are considered one of the most isolated communities in the world and have maintained very limited contact with the outside world for centuries. The Indian government has designated the area around the island as a protected zone to safeguard the community's health, culture, and way of life, and to prevent unwanted contact from causing harm. Researchers believe the Sentinelese have lived on the island for thousands of years. They depend largely on hunting, fishing, and gathering food from the forest. Their language remains largely unknown to the outside world. Because there is no regular contact with the community, only limited information is available about their social life and traditions. The Sentinelese remind us that there are communities in the world that have chosen to preserve their traditional way of life rather than embrace modern lifestyles. Respecting their existence, protecting their privacy, and allowing them to live without outside interference is extremely important.
The Jarawa are another indigenous community living in the dense forests of the Andaman Islands. For centuries, they have maintained a deep connection with the forest. To the Jarawa, the forest is not simply a place to live. It is the foundation of their food, water, and way of life. The Jarawa traditionally depend on hunting, fishing, and gathering forest resources. They use traditional tools, such as bows and arrows. Their way of life is often seen as an example of using natural resources in a balanced manner, without taking more from the environment than they need. Over the past few decades, contact with the outside world has increased. However, protecting the Jarawa people, their culture, health, rights, and traditional way of life remains an important concern. The Indian government and various organizations continue efforts to protect their interests.
The Toda are an indigenous community living in the Nilgiri hills of Tamil Nadu, southern India. They are considered one of the country's most distinctive tribal communities. Their traditional semicircular houses and beautiful embroidery are well known around the world. Buffaloes hold a special place in Toda culture. Traditionally, buffalo herding has been an important part of their livelihood and social life. Many of their religious and cultural traditions are also closely connected with buffaloes. The Toda language is considered part of the Dravidian language family. Despite the influence of modern education and tourism, the community has preserved much of its traditional identity. Their handicrafts and intricate embroidery are now appreciated internationally as well. The Toda demonstrate that tradition and modernity can coexist. A community can move toward development while continuing to protect and celebrate its unique cultural identity.
The Apatani are an indigenous community living in the beautiful Zero Valley of Arunachal Pradesh, northeastern India. They are known for their unique culture, environmentally friendly way of life, and traditional agricultural practices. Surrounded by lush green hills, rice fields, and bamboo houses, the Apatani have lived in harmony with nature for centuries. One of the most remarkable features of the Apatani community is their traditional farming system. They cultivate rice without causing large-scale damage to the surrounding forests. Their traditional techniques for managing water in the fields are still studied by researchers today. In many areas, they also practice fish farming alongside rice cultivation, allowing them to make balanced use of both land and water. family and community play an important role in Apatani society. Villagers work together on farming, house construction, and preparations for festivals. Two of their major festivals are Miyoko and Dri, which feature community gatherings, traditional dances, folk songs, and local food. Today, modern education and technology are gradually reaching the community, but the Apatani continue to make.
The Konyak are one of the largest tribal communities in Nagaland and live mainly in the hills of Mon District. They are renowned for their rich cultural heritage, traditional wood carving, handicrafts, and colorful festivals. In the past, some Konyak warriors traditionally wore tattoos on their faces and bodies, which were regarded as symbols connected to their social identity and achievements. Today, this practice has largely become a part of history, but the traditional tattoos, still seen on some elders, serve as a reminder of the community's cultural heritage. The Konyak are highly skilled artisans. They create beautiful artworks, jewelry, and traditional objects from wood, bamboo, and metal. The intricate decorations found on their traditional homes also reflect their remarkable craftsmanship. The annual Ayoling Festival is one of their most important celebrations. During the festival, villages come alive with traditional dances, music, communal meals, and cultural activities. It is traditionally associated with welcoming a new agricultural season and the beginning of a new year. Today, many young Konyak people are pursuing modern education and employment opportunities, while also working to preserve their language, folk arts, and traditions. The Konyak
The Banda are an indigenous community living in the remote hills of Malkangiri district in Odisha, eastern India. They are often described as one of India's ancient tribal communities. For a long time, the challenging geography of the region limited their contact with the outside world, helping many of their traditional cultural practices survive. The Banda are known for their distinctive traditional clothing and colorful jewelry. Banda women traditionally wear numerous beaded necklaces and metal ornaments, which form an important part of their cultural identity. Men also use traditional clothing and locally handcrafted items. Their livelihood is largely based on farming, gathering forest products, and using local natural resources. Living in the hills has led the community to develop ways of adapting to challenging environmental conditions. Local grains, roots and tubers, fruits, and forest products are important parts of their traditional diet. Folk songs, dances, and oral traditions hold a special place in Banda society. Stories, legends, and experiences have been passed down from one generation to another through songs and storytelling. During weddings, harvest celebrations, and community festivals, villagers come together to enjoy traditional music and dance. Today, facilities such as education, healthcare, and roads are gradually reaching the region. At the same time, efforts are being made to preserve the Banda language, culture, and traditions. The Banda remind us that the true identity of any community lies in its cultural heritage, shared traditions, and sense of community. The Baiga are an indigenous community living across parts of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, and Jharkhand. They are considered one of India's ancient tribal communities. The Baiga traditionally view themselves as guardians of the forest, and nature is deeply connected to almost every aspect of their lives. For them, the forest is not simply a source of food or fuel, but a foundation of life, spirituality, and culture. For generations, the Baiga have passed down knowledge of medicinal plants to their children. Their understanding of identifying plants, their traditional uses, and their medicinal properties has been transmitted largely through oral traditions from one generation to the next. This has made the Baiga important custodians of traditional forest knowledge. Their homes are traditionally built using materials such as mud, wood, and bamboo. Their villages are generally small and surrounded by forests. Farming, collecting forest produce, and livestock rearing are among their important sources of livelihood. A tradition of collective work remains an important part of Baiga society. Whether it is farming, building homes, or preparing for festivals, villagers often come together to support one another.
Baiga folk dances, songs, and festivals are central to their cultural identity. Dances performed to the rhythms of the mandar and traditional drums.
The Dongria Khand are an indigenous community living in the Niamgiri hills of Odisha, eastern India. They are known for their distinctive culture, traditional farming practices, and deep respect for nature. The word Dongria itself refers to people who live in the hills. For them, the mountains are not merely a place to live. They are the foundation of their identity, beliefs, and way of life. The community practices traditional farming on the slopes of the hills, growing fruits, vegetables, turmeric, ginger, and other crops is an important part of their livelihood. They traditionally collect only the natural resources they need from the forests. Their way of life is therefore often seen as an example of living in balance with nature. Colorful traditional clothing, handmade ornaments, and community festivals hold a special place in Dongria Khan society. During weddings, harvest celebrations, and religious occasions, the community comes together to sing folk songs and perform traditional dances. Their songs often express a deep connection with the mountains, rivers, trees, and the natural world. In recent years, the Niamgiri region has become an important part of discussions surrounding environmental protection and indigenous rights. This has brought global attention to the Dongria Khan community. The Bhil are one of the largest indigenous tribal communities in India. They live across several states, including Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Chhattisgarh. The Bhil have a special place in Indian history and have long been known for their courage, love of independence, and remarkable skills in archery. Traditionally, Bhil communities have relied on farming, forest produce, livestock, and handicrafts for their livelihoods. Strong traditions of community life can still be seen in many Bhil villages. Community participation and collective decision-making have traditionally played an important role in maintaining social unity. Bhil culture is rich in folk songs, traditional dances, and festivals. At famous gatherings such as the Bagoria Festival, people celebrate their culture through traditional clothing, music, and dance. Their performances, accompanied by instruments such as drums, mandar, and bamboo flutes, are well known across the region. Throughout history, many Bhil leaders and warriors have stood against injustice and exploitation. The community also played important roles in local movements and India's struggle for independence. Today, Bhil communities continue to preserve their traditions while building new opportunities in education, sports, arts, and other fields. The Bhil remind us of the enduring values of courage, self-respect, cultural pride, and community unity.
The Worli are an indigenous community living in Palghar, Thane, Nashik, and surrounding regions of Maharashtra, Western India. They are known around the world for their distinctive Worli painting, which is much more than an art form. It is a visual record of their life, culture, and traditions. Worli paintings use simple geometric shapes, such as circles, triangles, and squares, to portray farming, weddings, dancing, forests, animals, birds, and everyday life. These paintings beautifully illustrate the balance and close relationship between people and nature. The traditional livelihoods of the Worli community are mainly based on farming, forest produce, and handicrafts. Their festivals often feature community dancing, with the tarpa dance being especially famous. When the tarpa instrument is played, villagers traditionally form a circle and dance together, symbolizing community spirit and unity.
These 10 tribes of India are not stories of mystery, imagination, or myth. They are a living part of our country's cultural heritage. Each tribe has its own language, traditions, folk songs, art, and way of life deeply connected with nature. For centuries, they have carried forward a tradition of living in harmony with forests, mountains, rivers, and the land. Today, modernity is advancing rapidly, but the traditional knowledge of these communities, their understanding of environmental conservation, and their spirit of community life can inspire humanity as a whole. Respecting their culture
protecting their rights, and passing their history on to future generations is our collective responsibility. Whenever we speak about India's diversity, we must remember these tribal communities, because the true identity of India does not exist only in its cities,